Well, I'm sure many of you will agree one of the best parts of fall is the different types of food. Fresco's in Ocean City uses many fall favorites in some of their dishes this time of year.
And Brian Spyro stopped by to help cook up a couple of dishes that you can actually cook right there at home. He also has some interesting information when it comes to wine.
Fresco's in Ocean City is known for two things: their view and, of course, their food. Today we are in the kitchen with restaurant owner Pino Tomasello. He's cooking up a fall dish they serve at Fresco's, but it's something you can also make at home: gnocchi with butternut squash and sausage. For those who may not know, gnocchi is an Italian-style dumpling. There are many variations, but three basic ingredients: potatoes, flour, and eggs. Once you put all three together, you end up with dough.
All right, Pino, so we have our dough made. What's the next step?
Next step is we're just going to roll it up, a little bit of flour, and then we're going to cut it.
So little pieces like that.
Little pieces like that, and
there you go. And you have your gnocchi.
And you have your gnocchi.
After that, Pino combined the sausage and butternut squash and let it cook. While that's happening, it's time to put the gnocchi through one last step: into boiling water, just like pasta.
So an important thing to know is that gnocchi is not like cooking pasta. It's a little different.
No, they drop in the bottom. As you can see right now, they're floating up. They're ready.
So when they float to the top, you know they're ready.
Float to the top, they're ready.
Then it's time for the gnocchi, butternut squash, and sausage to come together, and here's what you're left with: a dish of amazingness. Pino also made what's known as gnocchi quattro formaggio, which in Italian means 4-cheese gnocchi. The name says it all.
Blue cheese, fresh mozzarella, Parmigiano Reggiano, goat cheese.
A lot of Italian women make the gnocchi, and so, I think it is something that is somewhat simple, but still makes you look like you've really, done something amazing.
Karen Tomasello is Pino's wife and co-owner of Fresco's. She knows what goes good with all the food Pino makes: a nice bottle of wine.
We love wine and we love learning about wine. We're not experts by any means, but we love, there's always something to learn. That's the thing. It's always changing. There's always new trends.
At Fresco's, they've made it a point to keep their customers learning. That's why they started the Pino Vino Club. One Tuesday a month between October and May, the restaurant will have wine and meal pairings, which all center around a certain region, whether it's Italy, Argentina, Chile, or California. A wine rep comes in to pass along valuable information about the wine, where it comes from, and who makes it.
I think wine has always been popular. I just think people are looking at different varieties now. They're just, and then not only that, they want to learn more about the vineyards, where it's coming from, the origin. So that's basically why we created this Vino Club several years ago.
These monthly wine and dinner pairings are limited to 30 people, so you need to make a reservation. The next one is scheduled for November 13th.
Not only did they eat a nice pairing, but they have some knowledge that they can take with them when they go out to buy wines on their own.
Introducing people to new wines goes well beyond the Pino Vino Club.
Between pairings during this off-season, we like to just bring in, other little things. So we'll have tastings. So we invited Maryland Wine Bar in Berlin and Fenwick Wine Cellars just to come in, and they'll basically take over this lounge area and they'll have a tasting.
That tasting, set to take place October 30th, will give people the chance to drink some of the best-selling wines sold here on Delmarva. It's all about keeping people up to date and informed in an ever-changing wine world.
Everyone out there knows a lot more than they used to do as well. Our guests know a lot more than the guests maybe from 10 years ago. So you really have to keep up with the trends.
Now, in addition to food and wine, Karen says now is the time to start planning those holiday parties. And here's some advice. First, go into the planning process with a budget in mind. Second, make sure you get the per person cost. Karen said that's important. And finally, if alcohol is going to be served, factor that into your budget as well.
And
So
as
good,
you can
important
see,
advice.
Brian joins us in the kitchen. This
I
should
am in
be
the kitchen. This should
interesting.
be very interesting. We're going to make gnocchi, and I know we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to get right to it. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you make the gnocchi, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to have you take this, and I want you to start rolling it out so it looks kind of like
Not
a
the
steak.
whole thing,
Now,
just a piece of it.
Just a little piece of it.
Okay.
Now, while he's explaining that, I will tell you the ingredients for this are you need 3 Idaho potatoes, half a cup of flour, an egg, and some salt. And what you're going to do is you're very simply going to kind of boil the potatoes so that they're nice and soft, and then you're going to mix them in a mixer with the flour, the egg, and the salt. Mix it for about 2 minutes so that it forms a dough, and then you put it in the refrigerator for about an hour so it can cool.
Right.
And basically, this is what you come out with the dough as Jimmy is working on. So you're going to roll that out. It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not.
Is it?
It's
No,
really not.
it
This is an
really
art form
isn't.
here.
Now, gnocchi, as we said, is an Italian dumpling, and there's many variations for it. People put butter on it, sauce, and as you saw, Pino did all different types of stuff in
with
there
the
as well.
cheeses.
With the
That
cheeses,
look
the 4
good.
cheeses. Yeah, exactly. So once you roll all that out,
This is gonna be a
you're
while.
doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah.
What you're going to
Appreciate
do is,
you
if you
saying
want,
that.
you're going to cut it up into little inch pieces so that it looks kind of like this right here.
Okay.
And Lisa, I'm going to have you put those in because I got to put you to work as
Oh,
well. So you
absolutely.
can put a couple in there. Be careful because it splashes.
Yep.
Now, this is the important part with the gnocchi that people don't realize that it's not like regular pasta. Basically, you put it in, it's going to sink to the bottom like a rock. Mine probably more so because there's a lot of flour on there. And then they only cook for about 1.5 to 2 minutes, and once they start to rise to the top of the water, you know they're done. It's not like pasta or penne that you want to leave it in there. So they cook very quickly.
Right.
And basically, we'll go back to you now.
that's what
Just
it
take the knife, just cut them up into little sections so it looks like this.
Okay.
That's the gnocchi.
Gnocchi.
See, so it's not bad.
I wasn't saying
Gnocchi,
it right.
gnocchi. Do
Gnocchi.
you want to know what you call just one?
What?
What?
Gnocco, because in
Gnocco.
Italian the O changes to I, and that makes it plural gnocchi because you can't eat more than one.
I'd never known
And then at the end, this is what they look like. The dumplings, you put some sauce on it, and you got a meal. Now go ahead and try it.
I'm going to go ahead and try one of these
That's
right
nice.
now.
Well, thanks for watching Delmarva Live this afternoon. Great information. Is it?
That was really good. I wanted
Good
more
stuff?
sauce.
Wait a minute.
Try one,
How
Jimmy.
do
There
you
go.
get them all?
There's a fork.
Oh,
There,
thank
take
you.
it. There
You're
you go.
good. You're a gentleman's scholar.
Join us tomorrow. We'll keep you up to date on the latest on Sandy. And weather permitting, Miss Delaware is going to stop by talking about melanoma. Let's check in now with the Newsplex for the latest on Sandy. That is so
Like
good.
it? And salt.
I have another one.